Hello everybody, Friday night. I just did this video about 10 minutes ago, and when I went on the playback, it kept cutting out and it kept saying technical difficulty, so I finally just deleted the entire video and I will try it again. I spent an hour today coming down the interstate listening to a podcast by two wine professionals on wine tasting. It was a fascinating podcast. It covered pretty much just about anything to do with podcasts. One of the tasters was a woman who is a master of wines, which is just an incredibly high level of knowledge. There's less than 100 master of wines in the entire world. The other person on the podcast was a man, and he is a master sommelier, which is also a very prestigious level, but not quite up to the master of wine. But in any event, they were talking about tasting wines and the same thing that we did a little bit of chatting about in the past as far as clarity, viscosity, color, taste. But the podcast went into great detail. And I want to listen to the hourly podcast one more time, make notes so that I can pass that information on to you. It's information that I've had in my brain for like 45 years, but obviously I haven't passed all that information along to everybody. They talked about TCA, for example, which is commonly referred to as a corked wine. And it's when wine is tainted by a chemical that is short. It's the short version is called TCA. It doesn't hurt the wine, but it ruins the wine as far as flavor and taste. We'll talk a little bit about that. They talked about the different wine glasses, which we've done very little talking about that. The style of wine glasses either enhances or diminishes sniffing, swirling, and so forth, stemless versus stem. We're going to talk about a lot of those things too. It was a fascinating wine podcast, probably the best one that I've ever listened to. So again, I'd like to get that information, put it in notes that I can refer to, and impart that information back to you. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's 97 degrees here in Charleston, where I'm at, which is miserable. But I'm getting ready to head to the West Virginia mountains tomorrow morning, and we're going to see a Shakespeare play in Elkins, West Virginia tomorrow night. So it should be a little cooler there. At least it'll drop down to 90 degrees according to what I saw online. So anyway, everybody have a good weekend, and I hope you're all having a good time, and I will do this podcast probably, I'm guessing sometime early in the week, Monday or Tuesday. I may not even get a chance to do a wine tasting until Monday or Tuesday. By the way, I'm having curry tonight, Indian curry, real Indian curry. And so I brought down a bottle of red Zinfandel, which pairs very well. By the way, pairing is something I was thinking about on the interstate. I need to do a whole podcast on pairing foods with specific wines. And the woman wine taster touched on that, and she even talked about going to the farmers markets just to sniff the fruits and the vegetables so that she gets a sense of what she's smelling when she's sniffing a wine. But in any event, we'll talk about all that when I do the podcast. You all take care and have a nice weekend, and hopefully this one may come through. Talk to you later. Bye.